encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind?
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. This is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua! Clive! It's Gav! There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Well, what's the short of it?
It's all Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The city guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tyre not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive!
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I'll look after him.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Sid, perhaps you can help me solve a mystery.
I can certainly try.
It's not who, but what. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, well, my first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having disappeared, which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Perhaps
I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. They were in the atrium when I last...
Seems the hideaway has lost its
Blasted
appetite.
book. Here, you put me in this situation, Clive.
Are you sure it's me you're looking for?
I'm all the cook will be needing. Thank you. Remember Ivan's stew? So I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself.
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped.
Yeah, but this is my blimmin' kitchen, and I will not be outdone.
I've never been one to play favorites, Molly. So, what's on the menu this time?
A fried mortress of skyworm. Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were.
Yvonne said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries.
Wow. That's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. And if he does, I'll see if I can find your ingredients for you.
You do that.
Did you see the pair that got pulled into time? Rutherford. Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant? Why would he be at Martha's Rest?
What am I gonna do?
Is everything all right, Goose? You seem more...
Oh, I don't know what that means. Oh, I think Nan might be in trouble.
It's all right. You can tell me.
Folk are saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. But she'd never do business with baddies. I wanted to ask her about it myself, but she'd never give your tongue a lashing, though, would she?
Don't worry.
Oh, you'll let me know what she says, won't you?
Of course. I'm sure it's all just a misunderstanding.
I heard the Emperor was impaled on his...
We're all gonna die! You hear me?
What do you reckon we should do? I say we should...
Sid! Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh!
And just how long hasn't it been one?
We're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss Mididol? Why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Mididol said, the best way to see how something worked is to take it apart and put it back together again.
Well then, your work is already half done. Carry on.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we? All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Midadol's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces. The body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others? This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like a wing. Like a chocobo wing!
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid? Will you teach me to ride one day?
I'll think about it. Now, what do arms do?
Hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right track. These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh Goots? I don't think he'd fit on that little thing.
Probably not.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn. This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever seen one before?
I have. Miss Midadol's dungeon is full of them.
She puts them in all her inventions.
That's right. They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember if there was anything on the scales that moved?
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple. And then somebody ate it.
Not my fault. You shouldn't have tried weighing it before lunch.
We know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to move. So, let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. You see, it's not so difficult. So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and...
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms. Or wings, if you're a chocobo. And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good. Let's see if that works. There. All finished.
Yes! We did it!
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you three engineers who showed me how.
That's right. We're Miss Midadol's hares.
Her hairs?
Yeah, hares for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid? Are we almost ready?
With a little more help from Miss Midadol and Miss Shirley, I'd say it won't be long at all.
You hear that? It won't be long.
Until then, though, do try to be honest with Miss Shirley.
Hey, look! We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot about it, do you?
Lady Karen.
Not nearly as foul as the weather.
You're doing good trade, then?
Clark, what exactly are you getting at? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care. But here you are today, raking me over the coals like a bloody popoto.
Just asking.
Oh, are you?
All I know is that someone in Dalamil has been spreading word to that effect.
And what? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of, but that woman is no more.
You're right, Lady Karen. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
No. I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your do-gooding finger at a poor old woman.
Of course.
It seems the hideaway is lost.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be...
Well, did you...
It was as you thought. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no,
Thankfully she won't. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the 3 of them under her wing. She'd have them follow in her footsteps.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva.
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange to anyone else, it would be an opportunity. But to Mid, that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life.
Ah, you've given them far more than that.
Lawsman Harpocrates. I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind.
Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew.
That's actually why I'm here.
So the fabled Sandbrequois delicacy is next on the menu. Delight. Now, Skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern.
Dragon livers.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their icon's brethren, but I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern.
So we know where to look for our liver. But what about the drake's mint?
Saint's bonnet, in contemporary parlance. A herb which grows along the North Reach coast. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone. I may add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life.
Meaning that if I find one...
Best of luck, Clive. And do save me a bite once the dish is complete.
I spoke that the rumors were unfounded, along with some other things. That while it sounds like she may have done things she regretted in her past...
Oh, well, I knew Nan wasn't caught up in out bad. But why would people say she was?
No, it's not. But people do things for all sorts of reasons.
Well, I'm going to find out. That trader, he said... So that's where I'm going. Al?
Are you sure that's wise? Whoever's...
Oh, but that's why you'll be coming with me, isn't it?
It's like a dream. The four of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yote is a fine scout. If Canville was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
We can use the ruins to cross the ravine.
Assuming they will allow it, the Echoes have a will of their own.
Enough of you, are there?
Tell us about Yote, Joshua.
She's strong-willed, loyal, and deadly with a blade. Much like Clive, but with better manners.
injured. What happened here?
It swallowed our camp. There's a village not far from here. We can't...
I'll go. You catch your breath. Rest well, soldier. You said the encampment was close. Let's hope the Akashic are still there.
Another ether flood. They're everywhere now.
We can't go around it.
Then we'll just have to be careful. We're nearly there.
Have you been to Tabor before?
There are a few places I haven't.
Where now, Joshua?
There is a residence just inside the city gates. She awaits us within.
Ready, go?
Thanks, girl. Good. I got here in time.
Is someone there? Please, I can't move my leg.
That doesn't sound like an Akashic. You're with the battalion?
I am.
Taken care of.
Another survivor.
His wounds were...
He was right to send you. Tabor is safe, thanks to you. You seem familiar.
You must have me confused with someone else.
Son of a whore. I was there, in Kosnis, when you killed my brothers.
My war with Hugo Kupka is over.
And what of my ill will?
Fine. If you insist.
For Tyson!
You're in no fit state to fight.
And this should be easy for you. Come on. Kill me!
For what? The sins of your master.
No. Lord Kupka told us of your crimes. You are...
And like you or anyone else?
I am nothing like you. Just know that I...
Fly, Ambrosia.
Back to the stables, girl.
My Lord Marquis, it is an honor. I am Yotei, Knight of the Undying, charged with the protection of His Grace Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix.
Of course. It all makes sense now.
Would you care to elaborate?
The Undying are loyal servants to the ducal throne. Or more specifically, to its heir. They have served our family for generations, albeit from the shadows.
Since their inception, they have been tasked with the preservation and enactment of the rites of ancestral communion. After the events at Phoenix Gate, it was the Undying who delivered me to safety. And since the day I left Rosaria, Yotei has been my constant companion and protector. Without her sword, I would not have survived my journey across the realm.
Rise, Lady Yotei. You saved my brother. I owe you a debt I can never repay.
I but did my duty.
Come now. Tell us what you've discovered.
Your Grace. It is as you feared. The vessel we spied off the coast of the Crystalline Dominion on the night of her fall. It was the Einherjar. beyond any doubt.
The Black Galleon.
Joshua, the Einherja is the Royalists' flagship. What business would they have in the Dominion?
Upon learning of Waloed's involvement in recent events at Drake's Fang, I sensed the malign influence of Ultima, and bid Yotei and the Undying look into the matter.
We have reason to believe that the Black Galleon weighed anchor shortly after the fighting began, and set a course due south.
For Canva. Then it is Waloeda knights who besiege the cities.
What is left of them, yes. And the Black Galleon sails up at one man's behest. Barnabas Tharm.
But are we truly safe here in the Agora?
The city guard have been paid, if that's what you're implying.
All the more reason for them to run.
Well, you are free to leave, Lord Minister.
Markets abandoned, warehouses aflame, blackened hulls choking every port in the capital. Canva is ruined.
The realm teeters on the brink of chaos, and all you can think about is commerce!
Forgive us. We were not aware Dhalmekia now subsisted on charity.
How dare you?
Distinguished members of the Council, you must forgive His Majesty this intrusion.
What is the meaning of this?
A trifle crowded, but I fear it will have to serve, my liege.
Very well.
My colleagues, do you not see? The king! He has come to save us from the Akashic. He is a gift from the heavens, divine intervention, our very salvation.
And of course, if it is compensation he requires, we would be most willing to negotiate a fair price for services rendered.
Fools! Your ignorance unbecomes you.
Your Majesty, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would swear that the fiends washing the cobbles of Canva with the blood of her citizens wear the colors of Waloed. Ha! So you do not deny it. Guards, fetter them, and see our guests to the dungeons!
Enough. Pathetic creatures. That you should imagine yourselves worthy of salvation. The girl is still here, somewhere in the city, her consciousness fair dripping with her late father's hubris. A consciousness to which Mythos is inextricably bound and inexorably drawn. See that he is made welcome.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Come, Mythos. Surely the prince's light cannot have sated you.
So then, how long has Waloed been under Ultima's control?
How long indeed? Based on what we know of Barnabas's actions, I would guess some few years, mayhap more.
But to what end? What does Ultima want?
The tapestry. Show them.
By the flames.
Phoenix Gate, Drake's Breath, and now here. But what is it?
It is old, ancient, even. Naught remains of the faith it represents, save what can be gleaned from the image itself. None could tell me what the one in the apothecary meant, even the Undying. But I believe it may be the key to discerning Ultima's purpose. That figure in the center, the one beneath whom the icons congregate, that I believe to be Ultima. He is a god, or at least godlike, his very existence beyond our ken. The icons, and by extension their dominants, are meant to be his subjects, and while some, like Barnabas, have accepted this role, others have rejected it, like you, Clive, which is rather inconvenient, as it appears he needs you most of all. And gods don't like to be disobeyed.
No, I don't suppose they do.
Clive, may I tell Yote of the lake?
By all means.
Yote, I will be accompanying my brother to the Free Cities. Whilst we are afield, I would have you watch over those Clive has made his wards. Umielos delan tuisag ilith. Though well concealed, the hideaway lacks trained fighters to defend its occupants should they be discovered.
But it is my duty to...
As it has ever been my brother's duty, remember.
If that is your wish, Your Grace. But please be safe. If aught were to befall you,
You have my word.
Farewell, my lord, my lady.
We are in your debt, Yote.
Let's find our friends.
It's plain she cares for you very deeply.
And I her, which is why I had to let her go.
Welcome, welcome. Take care.
Opportunity beckons. Who among you is bold enough to heed her call? Is that blade for hire, perchance?
Figuratively, I hope.
Well, a passing caravan carried with it a rumor most fortuitous for one in my trade. Dread Evis are aggressive beasts. Compelled as they are to acts of violence, fused...
How do you want to sell?
Eventually, yes. Though I would have it tanned first that it might be crafted into marvels the likes of which the world has never seen. Dread Evis skin is a rare thing indeed. Bring me that beast's skin and I...
All right.
Of course you will. When one lives in such troubled times, it is a fool who lets opportunity slip his grasp. Leave Tabor through the east gate, but take the path that branches west. I eagerly await your safe...
Cyril. How fares the search?
Well, Your Grace, my report shall be with you ere long.
Ah, yes. Yotei is otherwise engaged, at my behest.
And the duty of wardenship?
Fulfilled. For as you see, I've been reunited with my first shield.
I am Cyril, Knight of the Undying and bearer of the Burning Quill, charged with chronicling the mortal deeds of His Grace, Joshua Rosfield, keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix and rightful Archduke of Rosaria.
I entrusted Cyril here with overseeing the investigation into Ultima's origins. Findings from his brothers and sisters afield are delivered here to be collated and catalogued.
Just how many Undying are there?
Not nearly enough, milady. Yet we are glad to give our all in service to the Phoenix. Such is, and has ever been, our creed.
I see.
You have your associates, I have mine. But you may now think of them as ours. That won't be a problem, will it?
The Phoenix is our sun, and we but the shadows that quicken in his radiance. It is from the darkness that we serve, both him and now you. Pray accept this token. For as long as you bear it, members of our order will reveal themselves unto you, if there is nothing further.
No. You are dismissed.
Your Grace.
To Canva, then.
We'll talk about this later. Cyril seemed very, You certainly keep strange bedfellow. It's Joshua.
Careful how you pack that leather. Any crystals.
You! Finally. Hello?
Is something wrong?
At the university, the students would hang on my every word.
The university?
A specialist in ancient cultures. In my heyday, no obstacle could have kept me from my studies. The answers I seek lying just beyond my enfeebled reach. Would you do an old man a kindness and brave the stairs in my...
Climb this...
And memorize a few inscriptions. Some courteous soul is rumored to... 3 of them, to be precise. 1 each to the north, south, and east. I'm here in the hope that those carvings might shed light on a riddle, namely, the otherwise undocumented origins of Tabor's unique people.
I can't promise I'll remember everything perfectly.
Remember what you can.
How are those new boots treating you?
history would be complete without mention of the mother crystals.
Why won't the sky go back to how it was?
So it's these stones to Canva, and the rest of the boxes to Dalaman.
Thank you for the dealings.
What golden plains might the wanderers have called home, I wonder? Farmers must have settled here in Tabor. I should speak to the old scholar before I forget everything I've read. The engravings were in good repair, considering.
Oh, what that I could have seen for myself. Come, don't tease me. Let's start with the engraving to the south, shall we? What did it say?
Guardians of the Crystal. The first stones of Tabor. I'm pretty sure that was it.
Fascinating. It would seem the founders of this city were descendants of... But whatever could have driven the Guardians, the engraving to the north is next.
Wanderers of the Golden Plains, or... I think that was it.
No doubt you're right. There are vestiges of nomadic customs in Tabor. This is proving most enlightening.
Children of the Hunters. Now, that's all three.
And so, we add 3 engravings. Guardians of the Mother Crystal, wanderers from... Little wonder it was so difficult to trace the roots of Tabor's culture. Nonetheless, one cannot help but wonder why this...
Too many stairs, perhaps.
Careful how you pack that leather. Any creases or scratches will bring down the price.
There were ghosts at the gates, not Daisy.
Hippocrates said I should be able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Bright blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. This must be our wyvern. Right. Let's get this over with. That's the wyvern's liver. Now I just need to find the herbs. Bright yellow with a heady scent. I think that's everything Molly needs to resurrect her.
My lord Marquis, it is you. I am Sebastian Rutherford.
Of course.
Yes, my lord.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord.
It's all right.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of your lord uncle, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state of affair. And what I have learned is grim. The subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. The gears of governance have ground to a halt. The realm threatens to drift into utter chaos. Your lord uncle, however...
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving...
Alas.
I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword.
So you want me to find them? I'll need to know where they went.
One I sent to investigate the Republic.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down.
Thank you, my lord.
It's not going to be easy finding one man in an entire republic. Let's hope someone here's seen something. It shouldn't be too hard to find goods.
The gentlemen of the town guard are
Fuck! How the hell did... The finest cell swords in Storm couldn't hold a candle to our new town.
Could be I know something more.
Clive, listen! I found someone who says he's heard the rumours about Nan.
Have you?
Go on. Tell him what you told me.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Karen's been selling steel to whoever will pay her price. Says the more swords and spears she puts in people's hands, and the more war being waged. And who will they all turn to keep them in steel? Why, the good Reaper herself.
And you've seen this Reaper?
Aye, you'll find her right here plying...
Here in Delamil? Where exactly?
She has a stall here in the market, but if you're not the patient, that it'd be a bolder man than me that braved that particular nest of vipers. Feeling bold, traveler? Now, if that's all...
Sorry to have kept you.
You don't think Nan's the Reaper, do you?
Not unless she's discovered the secret of how to be in two places at once.
Eh? What do you mean?
Lady Karen hasn't left the hideaway in weeks.
Good question.
And I'll visit this storehouse on the edge of town.
All right, but...
You too, Goots.
The gentleman of the town guard is that. What a mess.
The bandits, maybe.
You fought very bravely.
Time to brave the Viper's Nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death, boys?
Leave now and we could pretend this didn't happen.
Oh, you've done it now.
Go on.
When the Borgwyn finds out you've killed his men, he only wanted that bull of a manservant. You weren't even supposed to be here.
What were you going to do to him?
The Borgwyn wanted him to get to Karen. I was only supposed to point the lamp in the right direction, but then you turned up. Well...
You're not worth the effort.
Fucking coward!
I need to find Goots.
Get your filthy paws off me, you naughty painted lout!
Stop calling me names! And stop spreading them horrible...
Well, for they are not lies. Every lie...
Goose.
He's gonna... He said she had to pay him...
After what she did, it is only right. That loathsome harpy is very... Goots, was it? Only with your employer. Run along now.
No.
No?
I don't care what she did. Promise me you won't hurt her. Or I'll kill you myself!
Goots, no.
Enough, all of you!
Karen, but how did you?
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Well, the whole thing got me thinking, who in Dalamil might bear me a grudge? And though it was just Bogan back then, I thought the years might have taught you some sense. What was it we called you?
You bitch! Everything that happened, it was all your fault, and now you'll finally pay for...
Goose, you...
If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
You great girl, look. Out of the way, I can handle this myself. So, wet legs, you remember what you told me when we last met? An eye for an eye. Wise words, Em. Wise words. And now, it's time to collect. Sorry to keep you.
Is he...
Dead? No. It's an easy going through life, one eye short of a pair. After all, I should know.
You don't mean...
Oh, don't tell me you didn't notice. Lost it to old Wet Legs back when we were working the same routes. Said I'd stolen from his strongbox. I'd done nothing of the sort, Matt, so I took some of my own. Sorry, lost everything, but he crossed a line dragging poor Goots into this. He didn't hurt you, did he?
No, Nan. Still got all my arms, see? Legs too, but...
What if he does? First we take the other eye, then we work our way. But something tells me the Wet Legs has learned it already, right?
Remind me never to cross you, Karen. Someone's got himself in trouble.
I don't see your master here, so you can start by giving us all the coppers in your purse.
I already told you.
Then maybe...
Please! These men are trying to rob me!
I'll deal with this.
Thank you.
You that one's master, then? If you'd kindly pay the coin he owes us.
Or you can go back to your garrison and I won't report you to your captain.
Oh, you're more than welcome to. He hasn't had many visitors since we slit his throat.
Yeah!
I'd expect as much from Hugo's faithful, but these were men of the fist.
Much has changed in the Republican army since they lost their rock. Many times. I was sent here to observe the situation.
You're one of Rutherford's men. He sent me to look for you.
Well, then you have my thanks. I arrived in Dalimil several days ago, but his men confiscated my effects and locked me in a cell.
The captain is no more.
Fortunately, I was able to bribe my way free.
What of the Fist's central command? Surely they wouldn't allow such lawlessness amongst their ranks.
I would imagine they are unaware of it. Those who weren't recalled now rule the fringes unchecked.
Then it's worse than we imagined. You should return to Rosaria.
I'll find a caravan heading north. You won't mind if I borrow one of these soldiers' coin purses?
Not at all. Now, if he was bound for Oriflamme, I'll start at Northreach and see if I can pick up his trail.
Ready, go? Fly, Ambrosia.
Enough of you, are there? Thanks, Gal. Old he may be, but it looks like there's still plenty of fight in him yet. This thing reeks. The sooner... Off my hands, the better. There's a lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's man could be anywhere. What happened here?
If you're with the others, they've already relieved me of my belongings.
I'm not. I'm looking for someone who was sent here by a man named Rutherford.
And then you found him. I am Alistair Rockford, attendant to the Lady Ariane of House Wellesley.
Of the 7 high houses of Rosaria. It's been a long time since last I saw my great-aunt. Is she well?
My Lord Marquis? I was on my way back from the old capital.
Bandits?
They looked more like field hands. It didn't matter in the end.
Which way did they go?
South, toward the gate.
All right. Founder knows I've met enough of their kind. You head back to Northreach.
Thank you.
They just couldn't resist, could they?
This one's ours, pretty boy.
Make for the town while you can.
You don't need to tell me twice.
This looks to be all of them.
I thought I told you to make for the Vale.
And stand by, as ill might befall the heir to the ducal throne.
It's just Clive, which is more than can be said for you.
I will survive.
Strange that the garrison wouldn't intervene in such a brazen attack so close to their gates.
The garrison have their hands full inside the city. There are few hands left to work the fields. The market stalls are nearly bare. When I said the ones who attacked me didn't have the look of bandits...
Rockford, if you are to continue your investigation, you first need to seek the attention of a healer.
I shall return to Northreach right away. But allow me to thank you first.
Don't thank me.
I suppose he'll be wondering where I've got to. I shall send a Bistolus as soon as I'm able.
My uncle certainly has his work cut out for him. I should go and tell Rutherford that his colleagues are still in one piece. see you're still...
The rest's location. Speaking of which, I received word...
I only happened to be in the right place at the right time. They both seem to think the realm's prospects rather grim.
I am afraid that grim. Storm is in crisis, and we must work together.
As it is mine.
Will we ever see the sun again?
It seems the hideaway has lost its appetite.
So?
I did, and he was as helpful as ever.
And what precisely?
Blueback wyvern liver.
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Now then, you stay right where you are. Let's hope these grand old chefs of yore knew what they were on about. And here we have it. Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for consumption.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honor than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
So...
What the crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet, it is a tour de force.
I think he likes it.
I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking.
Decent. It's remarkable. Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought.
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance.
I'm sorry, Nan. I didn't mean to make things worse. I just thought I had to protect you.
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't give a whit for your well-being. Reckon the both of us would be worse off if I'd not taken you on. You've always been me right eye, Goots, and I'd have you stay that way.
Well, I will.
Why, you big lump. Fine.
Thanks, Nan.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's as maybe. He'll need to start looking out for himself. Till then, he'll need...
Of course. His family.
Stop it. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. Let me tell you a story, Clive.
All right.
Them rumours wet legs might be they weren't just tales plucked. You see, there were a time when I weren't too particular about who I sold steel to, so some women lust after blood, others had to satisfy that lust or sold to opposing armies. Stabbed my every client in the back. Made but then one day said he'd give me access to a realm-wide community of like-minded individuals in constant need of steel and sundries.
Was that the first time you met Sid?
Aye. And I fell right into his damn trap. He was true to his word, so I ended up being true to mine. And all without aiding or abetting any outlaws. Told me about his plan to topple the mother crystals, you know. Said that with them gone, the realm would want for all manner of things. Why, I reckon an enterprising individual could find himself the richest dam in the Twins. And that's when he had me. And the rest, as they say, a dozen years on, and I'm still not the richest dam. But I can say that I have never been happier. You've all shown me there are some things more precious than Gil.
That there are.
So don't you go messing it all up. Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered either way.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
How may I help you today, Clive? You earned this. All done?
Here's your hide, as requested.
I worried you might never return. Quickly, let me see it. Oh, as supple as a maiden's cheek, yet as adamant as her virtue. This is everything I had hoped for, and more. Clearly, my trust in you was not misplaced. You must be a hunter of considerable talent to have bested the beast with nary a scratch. Join me as my honored partner. With my means and your might, we shall be as wealthy as the merchant kings of Zemeckis.
I don't plan on making a habit of this. I'm busy enough as it is.
Very well. Though I believe fate had a hand in our meeting, it would be unbecoming of me to beg. Do not allow me to keep you from being about your business. Here.
free cities under siege.
Are you sure this is the right way, brother?
Shouldn't have messed with the leader of the pack, eh, boy?
smoke.
Is the city fallen?
The free men are still holding their own, then.
Do we have any idea where Gav and the others might be?
There's a warehouse near the docks where we agreed to meet if there was any trouble. We should hurry.
Clive. Just the man I was hoping to see.
Oh? And why is that?
You remember how some of Sir Wade's guardians took up residence here after the Akashic attacked? Well, now the rest have come to join him. Seems their barracks in the Lazarus have been lost to an ether flood. Now, I don't mind having a few more brave boys around to keep them animals at bay. I ain't daft after all. But we ain't got nowhere for 'em to bed down. Poor buggers are having to make do with haylofts and chocobo pens. I'd build 'em a new barracks here if I could. But where would I put 'em? There just ain't enough room up here on the rock. Which leaves us in a bit of a pickle. The people we're counting on to keep us safe are living like beggars.
I see.
And it isn't just that lot. There's bears to think about too. There's been more and more of them turning up lately, coming from all over looking for safe haven. But there's only so many we can shelter with the room we've got. We can't keep cramming more and more people into less and less space. What we need is a new home for our new arrivals. And that's what I was hoping you might help me with. If it ain't too much of a burden, of course.
It's no burden.
Thank you, Clive.
So, where were you thinking of making this new home?
Well, I reckon we could do a lot worse than Eastpool.
Eastpool. It's been a long time since I thought about that place.
It was a tragedy, what happened. And if any of us could have done anything to stop it, we would have. But what's done is done. And those who lived there wouldn't have wanted the village they loved to be left in ruins.
I suppose you're right.
The blight might be pressing in, but I reckon it's got a good few years left in it yet. There's just one problem. A band of cutthroats have made it their den. And they don't seem like they'll be moving on in a hurry. Nasty bastards they are. Would have sent someone to clear them out sooner, if my boys didn't already have their hands full. But now we've got a few more guardians of the flame to call on.
I do. Eastpool was once home to people I loved.
And I know the men will gladly follow you. I've already shared a few thoughts with Sir Wade about how we might be able to win the place back, and I dare say he's got some ideas of his own too.
Of course.
Back to Eastpool, then.
Not just yet. Let's hear Wade's plan first. So, Wade, it's good to see you well.
And you, Lord Rosfield. And you.
I spoke with Martha. She tells me you have plans to free Eastpool and make it your own.
That's right, though it was mostly her idea. I rather fear my men have been treading on her toes somewhat since joining us, not to mention each other's. And then there are the bearers, men and women who found the courage to flee their masters and sought refuge here. We need somewhere to settle them, and I can think of worse places than Eastpool.
As can I, which is why I agreed to help you win it back.
That's very kind of you. With you beside us, we shall soon send that rabble of rogues running for the hills.
So?
That thankfully there aren't too many of them, and rather less thankfully. A small force would suffice to clear the village. But if the Akashic were to follow them in...
I'll head into Eastpool and deal with the bandits. You and the Guardians can stay outside the village and fend off any Akashic who come too close. Make sure I'm not taken unaware.
I can't ask you to bear all that risk yourself.
The Akashic are the bigger risk. I can handle a few bandits.
Well, if you're sure, I shall summon my men at once.
Shall I wait for you here?
No need, my lord.
All right. I'll meet you at Eastpool then.
We shall see you there.
This place.
We'll face the consequences. That's the end of that then. Or maybe not. What's that thing doing here? Doesn't matter. It goes too. Any more surprises? I'll take that as a no.
Bravo. A magnificent display, my lord.
You were watching. I thought you were keeping an eye out for Akashic.
We were. Put down more than a few on the road, then arrived...
Let's hope it was the last of its kind. Though I expect you and the Guardians will be up to the challenge should another appear.
I would hope so, my lord.
Your men will be bringing the bearers who'll be living here, I assume. It might be best to send word for them to come right away.
Of course. I'll send orders for them to depart immediately. Leave it with me, my lord.
Home.
We're the masters now.
That's all of them. Now to begin the important work of rebuilding the place. It won't be easy. Especially not after 5 years of beasts and blackguards having their wicked way with the place. The masonry might still be sturdy enough. It'll take a bit of elbow grease.
So wait, if you don't mind, I'd like Oscar to join the rebuilding efforts.
Of course.
I'll let Martha know that everyone arrived safely. If you need anything more...
And we will, my...
Eastpool lives again. Sir Wade told me you got rid of the bandits while his lot kept an eye out. And what's all this about? Some shape-shifting nightmare? On second thoughts, it'll only give me nightmares of me own.
I suppose it will be.
What else? Sir Wade said it best. There's plenty bad happened to that place.
Did Wade say that?
Well, something along those lines. Anyway, the poor souls might have made it to Eastpool, but their work ain't done yet. So the way I see it, if it's food or lumber or...
Thank you, Martha.
No, thank you. You didn't have to help us.
I wanted to.
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need.
You know what you have to do. Clive, as you know, our time grows short. Before we part, I want you to know that... well...
Thank you. But his revenge...
It is the one I found, and it is all that I have lived for.
But what of Lostwing?
I built Lostwing to achieve this aim. My comrades and I are sure of our cause, but there are those among us who cannot fight. I would place Lostwing in their hands, but a village home only to the frail and the infirm is... And so, Clive, will you take them to your hideaway?
I will.
Thank you. The people I speak of have withdrawn to Gotan's Bales. Oh.
Understood.
Then the last of my preparations are complete. And may Griga guide us.
Come then, brother. We are awaited in Gotan's Bales.
Everyone, Quinton has asked that you come with me. He can no longer guarantee your protection.
Well, if that's what the Master thinks best. Sid, none of us would be standing here today if it weren't... We owe him our lives. If he's saying we ain't safe in Lostwing no more, and if that's what has to happen, then so be it. That we get to see justice.
I hope so too.
Oi! You lot!
They've gone with Master Quinton.
Fuck!
What's wrong?
I've just come from the Justice's manor. We have to get Quinton to call off the... It ain't just the Black Shields protecting the place. They don't stand a chance against that thing. They're all gonna fucking die!
No. Sid! We can't let Quinton die.
All right. Where is this manor?
It's way over to the east.
Promise us, Sid. Promise us you'll do what you can.
Ready, go? Fly, Ambrosia.
Look.
No. Don't tell me we're too late. Quentin, are you all right?
No, which is more than I can say for my comrades. They followed me without question.
This must be the guard dog, Quentin. I'll hold it off.
But
your comrades didn't die for nothing. Don't let their sacrifice...
I won't.
Come on, then.
That is no more guard dog.
No. It's a rabbit beast that needs to be put down. If only we'd arrived earlier. Is it over?
It is. He wept and begged for mercy. And I cut him from ear to ear, just as I dreamed of doing all these years. All my plans, it was all for this. But what is this? My faithful comrades. All those lives lost.
Quentin.
Master Quentin! Oh!
You.
And so he... It's Lostwing.
What? Lost Wing. My Lost Wing.
And look who's here.
They must have stolen in after we left, just before the flood struck. What if there are still people in there?
Don't be a fool!
Damn it.
Richard's not going to last long in there. Then we finish this quickly.
Stay down! I need to find Quentin. Quentin! Quentin! Look at me! Thank the Founder. He hasn't turned. I'm going to get you out of here. Welcome back to the land of the living.
Is Lost Wing?
The flood has filled the valley.
I see. Then all is at an end. A strange way to achieve one.
No, Master Quentin.
Why? All that I strove for is gone. I have nothing left to live for.
What the heck are you on about? You've got us, ain't you?
I thought you weren't coming back, but I prayed, and you did. Can't we just go back to how it was?
Your work ain't over yet, Master Quinton. We believed that you were the right man to lead us, and we...
Your village may be lost, but it seems your people aren't, so long as you remain to guide them.
But why? After what why would anyone follow me?
Because we're family, aren't we?
Family?
Yeah. And all our comrades who went with you, they felt the same. Lostwing weren't just a village.
It was. And as long...
We can start again.
A fresh start. One life ends, and another begins. Why just a village? We could build towns. A nation, even. What's to stop us?
That's the Master Quinton we know.
Please. I am nobody's master. Quinton will suffice. After all, we are family. Permit me to withdraw my request. I will no longer be needing your help in looking after my people.
I'll pretend you never asked.
But you must be rewarded for your efforts on our behalf. You saved my life twice over. And more besides.
A bottle or two of your finest red will suffice.
Of course. Nothing but the best. And I have a feeling that this year's vintage will be the finest yet. If you don't mind waiting, that is.
I look forward to it.
If we're going to do this, we'll need...
Clive, your timing is impeccable. It just so happens that right at this very moment, we're in need of someone with your talents.
And what talents would those be?
Why, your fearlessness.
I'm listening.
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, when these dark skies swept over the Republic, so too did a wave of chaos and confusion. Randalar has been particularly badly affected. Many of the capital's bearers have lost their masters. None remain free for long, of course. But the army too is in disarray, and finds itself unable to provide for its new charges.
And you've been looking to buy, to make sure these masterless bearers remain that way.
Precisely. It's the perfect opportunity to free dozens more.
So where does my skill with the blade come in?
Though we may have the funds to buy these bearers, so we've been searching for a place where they can be resettled. And we believe we have found one. Cashlock. The place was abandoned a long time ago, but when the men moved out, the beasts moved in.
And so we seek the aid of a fearless swordsman to encourage them to look...
How could I refuse?
Excellent. Theo, if you wouldn't mind making arrangements for the transportation of our guests as we discuss?
Of course.
Sounds like you'll have your work cut out for you.
I will. We have an entire village to stock and furnish. Even if I begin right now, I'll be working day and night. So I'd better get started. Try to clear the place out before the wagons roll in, won't you?
I'll do my best.
You will find a village in Chairdress Thread, past Lateney's Cleft. My man there will open the gate for you.
All right. Wish me luck.
I'm sure you won't need it.
Good girl.
Fly, Ambrosia.
This must have been a nice place once.
Will be again.
I think that's the last of them.
I think... Right. Let's head back to Boklat. Something the matter, Theodore? Quiet.
Those are our terms. I trust that you will give them your full consideration.
I shall.
Him again.
Someone you know?
Yes, but enough about him.
It's done.
You made quick work of it.
I should go and let Eloise know.
Don't let me keep you. But Clive, she'll only get upset. I'll explain everything once you've finished with your report.
All right. Eloise.
Thank you, Clive. Here. Well then, now that you have laid the groundwork for... I suppose we'd better finish the job. The first thing we'll need to do is make sure our offer for the bearers is accepted.
You're still in negotiations?
We are. A trusted colleague has been dealing with the Fist on our behalf. I suppose it's to be expected, but we shall emerge victorious in the end.
Well, if you need any help, you know where to find me.
I'm not sure I do, but thank you.
Ah, Clive.
You wanted to talk?
The man I was watching earlier, the one. He represents the Silver Peak Consortium.
I don't think I've heard of them.
Well, every trader in Dharmekia has, and they're still expanding. And judging by her reaction earlier...
And you'd rather she didn't?
I would rather she did what makes her happy. And I would never deny her such an opportunity. Eloise saved me from slavery. But this was not the life my sister wanted. I won't let her give up on her dreams again for my sake. She freed me from my bonds, and she must be freed from hers in turn.
You're a good man, Theo.
I have always been grateful for what my sister did for me, and I want to repay the favor. But each time an opportunity to do just that arises...
She loves you.
And I love her. Though I'm sure I'll still need some help from time to time.
Always.
Thank you, Clive. Well then, these bearers aren't going to move themselves. That's a job for the Crimson Caravans.
work here is done.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
How may I help you today, Clive? Is everything we've received and everything promised all yours? All done?
Back again? How may I help you today?
Here you are. Here's the latest information I have.
It seems the hideaway has lost its...
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tiles?